Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Von Duprin. This is their part number 050136. This is a replacement lever arm for a 55 series device for the rim, mortise, concealed vertical rod. I'm a big fan of the 55 series because it solves problems, and in my opinion, in a very elegant way. Narrow style crossbar device. My go-to exit device when I've got a client who's come up with a gorgeous design, unusual door thickness, plank wood, wrought iron over it, etc. You need to be able to have narrow style capability, but get that crossbar off the face of the door because of maybe some inlay design. And while the 55 is obviously an exit device, it does solve all the problems when it comes to coverage of the actuating part across the width of the door, with the current code being 50%, half of the width of the door. But it does so, I think, in a traditional and elegant sort of way. The crossbar device goes back decades and decades. Anyway, glad it wasn't glass. Here we go, 55 lever arm kit. Now, there is, being what this is, there are two different hands. This is, of course, the right-hand version, and that's going to be based on, when you are looking at the door, you're going to decide left or right, which is very common, whether it be a roof hatch or an item like this, what hand the unit is. There's a parts drawing down below that shows an exploded view of what this is, where the lever arm is used. But there's also a link below this video to the parts manual that you can search for the 050136, and then you'll find where it occurs. That's handy because it will show you how the right hand is defined. And it is literally when you're on the push side of the door, which is the opposite of the way that we hand exit devices, because they're either left-hand reverse or right-hand reverse. But this would be when you're facing the door from the push side or the egress side, it would be the right side, and it's shown there. So all of part 2 in that, if you had pulled that document up, you would see that it's there. But you'll also take note that it is for the 55 rim, mortise, and concealed vertical rod device. There is a different arm assembly if you're dealing with the 47 series device. So if you're dealing with generally a rim device, you'll certainly have, obviously the most common. So you're going to get not only the lever arm, and this is shown in the satin chrome or 626 finish, and this video will really serve as visual evidence of the item, maybe some dimensional evidence as well. Dimensional evidence I usually provide to help people determine if this is what they need. Well, there's nothing that looks like a 55. Overall diameter of the base about 2 1/8. Okay, you can kind of gauge an overall projection of the finished part at about 2 inch or so, down to the bearing and bushing that will hold the crossbar on. There's some other parts that are included, not to call it the wedge tight screw, but the fixing pieces are here as well. On an 88, it would be called a wedge tight screw, but you do need a way to connect this all to the head case that it's going to work with, or the center case, or the hinge case. A couple of bolts and that collet are there. Let's move that so we don't drop it again. That document is really handy because, for instance, as you scroll through it, you'll find the end case is what they're calling them, either, depending on what hand of the door you're looking at. And that's interesting because then they start to call them by left-hand reverse and right-hand reverse. So be mindful of what that is. So therefore, if you looked at the end case and this is a right hand, you'd be using this with a left-hand reverse end case is what you'd be using it with. That document is incredibly handy because a hallmark of Von Duprin is not only, in my opinion, the finest quality exit device hardware that exists, but also that goes along with it the finest caliber of technical support published documentation. And whether you are considering a project large or small, the ability to purchase only an item like this so that you can continue to get useful service out of the significant investment in code required panic and fire exit hardware is crucial. Investing in a piece of hardware like this, you need to be able to rebuild it down the road. I've rebuilt 88 devices that have been decades old, and it's just amazing to be able to continue to get useful service out of it, because that part that was made in 1975, 40 years later, not a problem. You're going to be able to continue to get useful service out of it. Exit devices need to be healthy, properly functioning. It doesn't take much research to find the catastrophic events that have occurred that drove the development of exit and panic and fire exit hardware. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Von Duprin products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Von Duprin 050136? This is their right-hand 55 series lever arm kit, or any other Von Duprin product. Please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.